impartial, free from doubts and insincerity. In other words, there's no hypocrisy in this wisdom. And then it says this, if you're walking in godly wisdom, I get excited, the harvest or the fruit of righteousness is the fruit produced from the seed, there we go, seed again, that is sown in peace by those who work for peace in themselves and others. Whew. It produces something in people and between people that's called in the Greek an undisturbedness, or peaceful mind set free from fears and agitating passions and moral conflicts. Go read it for yourself in Amplified. By the way, don't be afraid to read the Amplified. Don't be afraid to read the New American Standard. Don't fall for that stuff. Don't fall for that. It is a religious trap. You hear me? I may be talking to somebody. Read the scriptures in the Holy Spirit. It does not have to be King James, even though I like King James also. Please look at me. It's more important than you think to be set free from that type of religious bondage. You need to be. Now, Matthew 25, I'm about out of time. Matthew 25:14, the parable of the talents. We'll get started on it today and hopefully finish it next week. It says a man went on a journey. And we're going to be seeing in a minute, it's likened to the Lord himself. He went on a journey. Now before he left, this is Matthew 25. I ought to turn there, I guess, but I got it pretty well written down here in my notes. It said a man went on a journey and he called his servants to him. And he entrusted them with his possessions. He entrusted his servants to all of his possessions. With all of his possessions, I'm leaving you. I'm giving you this while I'm gone. Take care of them. That's talking to us. Jesus came and established his kingdom, his church, and then he left. And he entrusted us with his possessions. What? All things pertaining to life and godliness. The ability to bear fruit, giftings, callings, ministries, whatever you want to call it. He left us with talents. And I'm not talking about just the ability to sing well. I'm talking about talents to walk like Christ and to minister to the people, especially to him. I'll get to that one later. He gave one 5 talents, another 2 talents, and another 1 talent. Now it says here that this was his decision. He wasn't trying to be kind to one and chintzy with another. See, he's perfect. He's God. He may have given you 10 talents and me 3. Or he may have given me 5 and you 1. It's his call. Why? Because the scriptures say in Matthew 25, it was based on the abilities of the servants. So don't chafe at what he gave you. Just be faithful to what he gave you. Most of us don't get the 10 talents, or the 5 talents. Some do. Realize this, too much whom is given, much is required. So that works both ways. Don't compare with others. It's our choice whether or not to make a profit. You hear me? I don't know how I can get into this deep enough to understand it, but we got to remember, accounts will be settled one day. Did you hear me? Accounts will be settled one day. Accounts will be settled one day. That's for me and that's for you. He will say, I gave you 5 talents. What did you do with it? That's what the parable teaches us. I gave you 3 talents, my daughter. What did you do with my 3? I only gave you 1, but did you at least make 1 more? That's the key here. What do? Did we take our talents our giftings, and it may be to sing well for the Lord, as long as you're singing for Him and not yourself. Do we hide it in the ground? Oh, I can't do that, and shucks, not me. Or do we take it and work it? Do we invest it and make a profit for Him? He's given us tremendous stuff. He gave large portions to these people. You need to understand, even the one with one talent got a lot. We think, well, it's just one. Well, you need to understand that in these biblical days, a talent could weigh as much as 75 pounds. That's what I learned from historians. I got 1 minute. So he gave at least 75 pounds of either silver or gold. That sounds pretty much to me. I don't know. If it was silver, it'd be worth at least $100,000 in today's money. If it's gold, $5 million. So he gave us lots to invest. You may not know what you have. Sit before Him and ask Him. He is not going to hold you responsible for something you don't know to do unless you've ignored His calling. And when I say, I don't mean full-time ministry when I say calling. Sit before Him, ask Him, dare to believe, and if He tells you to do something, then understand all the grace is there, the power, the money to do it. Got to close. We'll pick up on this next week. Till then, God bless you richly.